President Biden and the First Lady are headed to Puerto Rico to get a first-hand look at the damage left behind by Hurricane Fiona. And later this week, they'll head to Florida to some of the hardest hit areas by Hurricane Ian. KDKA's Chris Hoffman is in Fort Myers, Florida, hearing the stories of those impacted. And Chris, we have learned that the death toll, which is now up to 82, crews are also still going through the debris. They're looking for survivors and victims.
Well, Lindsay, here's a look at some of that debris in Fort Myers Beach, Florida, one of the hardest hit areas, and you can see why it's so challenging for crews. You have boats that have just been thrown wherever. This one's crushing an SUV. We've seen them on top of houses, other buildings. You have other structures. Well, what was a structure left is just piles of rubble. And this is what we're seeing in much of the area, and it's still an effort to clean up. We've seen rescue crews, relief crews driving down the roads, being flown in to help the people in this area.
Still hundreds of thousands without power there, Chris. So what can you tell us about restoration efforts?
Well, Lindsay, that's been an ongoing process. Obviously, in an area like this, that's going to take quite some time because you have lines that are just snapped, poles are thrown all over the place. But as you move a little bit up north, those efforts have continued to grow by the day. We've seen electrical crews from all over the country trying to help out, from as far north as New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, down here getting those lights on. And where we have been staying a little bit more north of here, we've seen the lights, the power come back a little bit more each day. So they're gradually trying to help people out. It's going to take, though, quite some time in these hardest hit areas, though.
Yeah, I imagine that's certainly the case. And Chris, lastly, how are officials down there responding to all this? Because there are a lot of people questioning the timing of evacuation orders. We understand there's been a lot of criticism surrounding it as well.
There's criticism because in Lee County, the evacuation order was less than 24 hours before the storm. But some officials say they feel they gave them enough time because they know some people will stay whether you tell them to leave or not. But they're also getting questions because some of the surrounding counties of Lee County, where Fort Myers is, they were giving almost 48 hours notice to evacuate, giving those people a little bit more time to get out of the way of Hurricane Ian. Lindsay?
All right, Chris Hoffman, live for us in Fort Myers, Florida. We thank you so much for the work that you're doing down there and giving us the very latest. And, of course, photojournalist Ian Smith as well. We appreciate it.